What's going on, YouTube family? Welcome to Automotive Life. My name is Lucky, and today we're going to be giving you an update on my car dealership, what I got going on, all the fun stuff involved with there, but also more importantly, we're going to be talking about why you should be selling cheap cars now, why majority of your cars on your lot should be affordable cash cars, especially with the recession coming, tax season coming, and how lending is going to get much tighter and less people are going to be able to qualify for certain vehicles. Now we're going to go ahead live from my dealership, and then we're going to go to the shop, and then I'm going to close it up back here again. Okay guys, we're here at the lot, and as you can see, we cleaned up all the garbage. I don't know if you guys remember my last video, we had some cars out there, we had to call the cops, we had to raid this place, but I'm trying to make a really cool video, but unfortunately it is actually raining in Vegas. It doesn't rain here that often, but once in a while it does, so we're gonna have to put up with this. Now, I know a lot of you guys are thinking, Lucky, why are you in this place that looks like an abandoned crack house? That's one of the charms of this building. This building was a dealership back in the 50s, but it's been run down. It's kind of been abandoned for a number of years, but it's 2 acres in the middle of downtown Las Vegas. So this is what makes it so valuable to me. Now, the reason why I believe is I'm buying this and renting it first and then hopefully buying it eventually is because I believe that this whole downtown area is gonna change. I'll show you a little video B-roll of how amazing and how quickly downtown Las Vegas is getting. So this is why I believe that this will be a really great spot, not only for an independent dealership, my rental car company, as well as doing classic car leases, all that other fun stuff. But I think in the long term, this will be a great spot where I can apply for a franchise license to get some sort of franchise store. Honda, Toyota, Chevy, Mitsubishi, Ford, Chevy, I don't know, somebody like that. Whoever wants to basically do business with us. But that's why I need a little over 2 acres in the middle of downtown. Now, to get 2 acres in Vegas is pretty much impossible, but right now, currently what we're doing is the old tenant did not have licensing for any of this stuff. So they winded up changing the zoning. So since my last video, I've been talking with council representatives, people from the city, architects, engineers, and we're going to City Hall this week to talk to them about approving this facility. Now, for some reason, they look down upon car dealerships. They think that car dealerships are bad and, you know, blah, blah, blah. There is a school right here, right behind me. This place was full of homeless people and crackheads and drug dealers. So I basically went to the councilwoman and said, hey, look, would you rather have a shady car dealer or would you rather have a bunch of crackheads, tweakers, and hookers walking around downtown? And suddenly they said, well, you know what? There's a school right here. There's children. Let's go ahead and let a business that's, one, going to help hire people. 2, we pay a shitload of money in sales tax. If you guys look it up in most of your states, where most of their sales tax come from are car dealerships. And then on top of that, right across the street, there is another used car dealership. So it's not like we're the only ones in the area. But it's just the fact that they wanted to change the occupancy to make this place more fun, more trendy. You know, they're going to the fact of real estate and retail. And now my landlord back in the day bought this property because they were planning on building high rises all the way back this way. They're going to crash down all the old hotels and make nothing but high rises and retail centers. But a lot has changed. The economy is down. We're in a recession. So unless they hire somebody like myself that's going to be selling affordable cars, because once again, this is the title of this video, is we're going to be selling only affordable cars. We may have maybe 1 or 2 Highline or exotic cars, but 99% of the cars we're going to be selling are hopefully under $12,000. The reason is because this is going to be the highest demand for the future coming. All these people that get in their heads, I got to sell $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 cars. I got to look cooler than everybody else. Forget that. All you want to do is sell cheap, affordable cars, so this way it's, 1, easier to get financed with the bank, because remember, as credit gets worse, that credit news gets tightened, bank fees go up. If you guys don't know what bank fees are, dealers have to pay a fee every time they sell a car to a bank. So if you sell a $30,000, $40,000 car, they're going to want maybe $1,500, $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 as a bank fee to get these people financed, where if you have to do maybe 5-10% on a cheap car, like a $12,000 car, you're looking at maybe $800, at the worst, hopefully $1,800 for really, really bad credit. But it's still easier to get into. Plus, you're not over leveraged with all the things you simply cannot afford. And that's what we're seeing right now in the market. Now, so I already kind of gave you an update on my dealership. We're gonna go ahead and head to the shop right now, and I'm gonna show you guys why it's so important to focus on cheap car sales. So we just got here to the shop. I'm gonna try to make this video as quick as I can because it's cold as hell, it's rainy, and the wind just started blowing. But if you can see behind me, I have a little over 100 cheap, affordable cars. Now, why did I decide to start wholesaling and basically getting more cheap, affordable cars. One, we're getting ready for tax season, which every dealer knows that the cheaper the cash cars you have, the better it is. When I first started the business, I had 30 of them. We sold out of them in 2 weeks. Anything under $5,000 is gold. So anything that runs and drives, something like this, you want to buy ASAP. But the main reason why is because of the credit crunch that's coming down. A lot of these banks are not funding the same amount of money to the same type of customers. There's going to be several things and factors you need to watch out for. One, LTV. LTV is loan to value. Most banks were lending way too much on vehicles. They are not doing that anymore. They don't want to take overextended risks on certain vehicles, so now they're lending less and less and not spending as much money. Two, the consumers. A lot of the laws or lending laws were loosened up because of the pandemic. If you had maybe a 1-month job, 2-month job, they would get you financed, no problem. But now you fast forward today and they want 6 months, 7 months, 1 year steady employment on your record. So a lot of the employment verifications and requirements have changed when it came to lending. I've seen a lot of banks, they want consistent employment for over a year, and that's limiting a lot of people. And it's getting even harder with the more expensive cars you're getting. That's why I'm trying to get stuff like this. When you do a cheap cash cars, you have two options. You could finance, but you can also sell cash outright. So something like this Sentra, it's a 2015. We bought it with a damaged bumper, a dent, something like this. We actually bought this car for around 1,800 bucks. We're gonna fix it up, probably put about $1,000 into it, and we're gonna retail it for $69.95, $79.95, something like that. Or we're gonna wholesale it at auction for around $55, maybe somewhere around there at the same price. And so I'm hoping that with this car, it gives you two options of one, they could pay cash, but two, if we gotta finance it, our bank fee is gonna be somewhat cheap. It's not gonna be something crazy like $2,000, $3,000. And for something like this to get a loan on, especially through like Westlake or some other subprime lender, it won't be that hard. Volkswagen CC, same thing, 2015, pretty clean, decent miles. I think it's got like 120 on it. We're gonna clean it up, probably sell it for maybe $89.95 retail, or we're gonna wholesale it for around 6.5 and just try to get some quick money out of it. But same thing, this is something I know banks will take a shot on. It's not that expensive, it's pretty much affordable, and I know that we can get people into it for a decent price. So even if they show up with $2,000, more than likely 90% of the people we can get out driving these. Bucket vans, stuff like this. I keep telling people sleep on minivans. They are ugly, and I know a lot of people don't want them, but during tax time, these are gold. We got like 6 or 7 of these things we bought for $500-$600 off our Cash for Car apps, and it amazingly works. I love these cheap, affordable vans. We got some baller on a budget BMWs. We always have those. We got some trucks. We'll walk out this way, but that's why I try to keep a little bit of different amount of vehicles for a little bit of everything. So this Nissan, same thing. Affordable trucks, work trucks. A lot of people now have side hustles, something like that. Trucks are always going to go great, especially affordable trucks. The days of overpriced, crazy brand new trucks are dead. People are walking away from those expensive trucks and purchasing cheap, affordable trucks like these so they can go ahead and do their side jobs, make their extra money on the side, or just create their own little small business with something like this. These little Hyundais, I buy a shitload of them. If people tell you these things are buckets and not to sell them, buy every one you can. I paid, I think, $400 for this one. If you saw my Instagram stories, I bought this one at an actual car auction for $400. Runs and drives fine, has 130,000 miles. It does have a rebuilt title, but it doesn't matter because I know I could sell this thing for like 2,500 bucks during tax season. Shitty Volkswagen, same thing, our repo truck. We got more cars, SUVs, trucks. I mean, literally, I'll go over here, but they're actually getting ready to start this engine, so I can't go out there. But we have little over 100 cars sitting here. And every single one of these cars, I'd say about 99% of these things are under $12,000. And that's the most important thing, because even if we can't retail all these things, I know that these dum-dums at the auction during tax season will overpay insane amounts of money, because right now, all their floor plans are leveraged to the gills, so they cannot go buy cheap, affordable inventory right now. So once the tax ballers come in and they start buying these cars, they're going to be shortage of inventory. They're going to be desperate, and they're going to go out and they're going to buy all stuff like this. And this is when I come and dump all 60, 70 cars at one time, 1 week, and just flood the market with cheap, affordable cars. These guys go nuts and buy every single one, and I guarantee you they will overpay every single time. These cars, if I own them for $1,800, $1,900 cash, they're gonna have to pay an auction fee. So let's say there's another $200, $300 plus a flooring fee. Then they have to recon it. Every car that I have, it's gonna cost most dealers about $500 to $1,000 more for them to purchase the same way. So as you start growing your business, look at these cars. Don't be shy. Don't say, oh, well, I gotta impress my friends. I gotta buy a bunch of cars and max out my flooring line. I was that dumb back in the day. I had a bunch of really nice cars, Mercedes, BMWs, Cadillac, Acuras, Lexuses, all that stuff. It was really cool, looked really nice on my shop, but when I had $1,000 a month monthly curtailments, it literally destroyed my cash flow. We were paying about $60,000 to $80,000 a month in flooring lines. Well, now I own every single bucket outright. I have 0 flooring line, and it's amazing. That's why I'm not stressed. That's why I'm smiling. That's why I'm deciding to get back into the car business, because I don't have to leverage my soul and sell my arm or my kidney or whatever else to my firstborn child to finance these cars. Flooring lines are a good thing. They help you grow, but they will take all your money. Start out with cheap, affordable cars. So I don't know if you remember all those Lamborghinis and Bentleys and Aston Martins that we had here. All those cars we sold funded all these vehicles. So yeah, it was great to have 5, 6 exotic cars here, but it's way better to have 110 buckets that I could flip at any moment's notice. And I can take all these to the auction right now, and 9 times out of 10, break even, if not make more money, which is great. When it comes to these other dealers, I know they can't say that. But anyways, this is why I believe that you should go with cheap cars instead of expensive cars. Sorry I was short in a few of those videos. It was cold as hell, raining, and the wind just started blowing here in Vegas, which is very, very rare. But I will make a much more detailed video probably in 2 weeks from now, because I should have some updating on my licensing, because we're meeting with City Council. Plus, we're gonna see how the market is changing when it comes to affordable vehicles. Now, my average time on lot, or days on market, whatever you wanna call it, is averaging around 7 days per car. That is really low compared to most dealerships. If you go to Car Gurus, they're averaging anywhere from 45 to 65 days. So even though I make less money sometimes on these cheap, affordable cash cars, I have less money invested, and I turn them at a much faster rate. That's why I think that selling cheap, affordable cars is the future, especially with the credit crunch and everything that's going on. More and more people are getting smart and not putting themselves in debt. I've seen a lot of people actually go out before the market went bad and started trading in their cars, selling their cars, and downsizing to affordable cash vehicles because they saw the writing on the wall. And I believe that there's much more people out there that are going to be doing this. Also, I've had clients through the years that multiple years, they've gone out, bought a car for me for $4,000 or $5,000, drove it around for a year, next year came back, traded in, bought another one, and kept doing the same thing. Never did any maintenance to it. They just wanted to drive it, enjoy it, and not have any payments, no headaches. Some just drove the cars into the ground. 3 or 4 years later, they come back, want another cheap, affordable vehicle. So that's why I think it's so important to, if you're gonna pivot from expensive cars to cheap cars, now is the best time. Plus, you can try to use mostly your cash and capital, so you don't have to go out and get flooring lines maxed out. It's much easier to turn and burn. Plus, we know that the market is going down when it comes to vehicle values. So if you lose 10% on a $3,000 car, it's not that big of a deal. You lose 10% on a $60,000 car, and that's a huge hit to take, especially when you times that across all your cars on your dealership, whether you have 30, 40, 50, or 200 cars. That number is going to sting, but it stings a lot less with cheap, affordable cars. Plus, for every one $60,000 car, there's about 100 people looking for a cheap, affordable cash car. So let me know in the comment section below how you guys feel. If you have a hard time finding cash cars, if you think cash cars are the future, what are you seeing in your markets? Are you seeing people slowly walk away from overpriced vehicles? Because I remember the last time I went to CarMax, they had a 3-hour wait because people were trying to get rid of their cars. And we kept hearing that same term, negative equity, over and over again. So I think a lot of people are going to be walking away from their cars this year and just buying something cheap and driving it around till the wheels fall off. But like I said, if your opinion is different from mine, please let me know in the comment section below. Once again, I would like to thank you guys so much for following the channel. I truly appreciate it. We broke 200K subs. I'm still shocked and amazed. I'm super excited. Make sure you follow us on Instagram at Lucky Lopez. I have a bunch of really cool stuff, and I show what I pretty much do on the daily, whether buying cars, wholesaling, going to the auction, etc. Much more funnier content, unfiltered content on there. And we'll see you next video.